What's up guys, welcome back to Shitbox Central. In this episode we're going to be focusing on Abby's bodywork. As you can see, I've already fillered quite a lot of the car. I didn't want to bore you with the boring stuff, so I've gone ahead and done this off camera. And believe it or not, we've only got 9 days left until Japfest, so this is going to be a real close one. None of the doors are on the car. Most of the stuff for the suspension is still off the car and the front end is still hanging off. Hopefully we can get it done in time. So I'm going to waste no more time and we're going to crack on with this straight away. So Abby at the moment is something that only a mother could love. It's looking a little bit rough around the edges, but this filler is going to get sanded right back, and I've put a lot on there because the metal deviates in a few places. So I've just gone overkill on the filler and I don't mind sanding it all back. I might have to do another layer just to make sure there is no more high or low spots in it, but because I've put a nice big thick layer of filler on, it should make my life a little bit easier. So I've completely done this sill now and I've done this arch, so all I have to do now is basically just sand it down and hopefully everything goes according to plan. And if you come with me, I'm basically going to show you what I've done to the other side as well. So I didn't notice, but there was a big dent here and there's another secret dent there. I didn't know that was there, so I've had to do that as well. That needs sorting. And I've also messed up on the welding side of things because there was a few tiny little patches on this side that need sorting. As you can see, you've got one here, one here, one here and there, but it's just little patches, so it's not too big of a problem. And I've got one other part that needs sanding as well, and that's the bonnet. It's still wet. That needs sanding once it's dry, and that is pretty much the bodywork sorted. Like I said, I didn't want to bore you with putting the filler on the car because no one really wants to see that. So I'm going to go get my 240 DA sander, which will basically take the edge off all of the rough parts of filler. And then once I've done that, I'm going to go over the top of it with the long block and work the smaller patches with the small sander that I've got as well. So we're going to be starting on this sill and the arch because it's the biggest thing to tackle, and we're going to make Abby look a little bit better than what she already does. Okay, so here's my 240 DA sander, and basically what I'm using is 120 grit sandpaper just to take all of these rough edges off, and then once I've gone over it and I've got rid of all the rough stuff, I can then attack it with the long block or even a smaller pad. So yeah, this is basically all I'm doing. So just looking at it right now, it's already taken a much better shape than what it just was. I've still got to go around it now with the little pad sander, wherever it is. It's probably over the other side somewhere. But I've got to go around that now and manually do it so I can get into the little crevices and everything, because I can't really do it with a DA sander. So yeah, I've still got to get rid of this big bow here. See how it dips down? I can't really get this any flatter without doing it manually. So yeah, I'm going to go and get that little pad sander right now and we can start smoothing this out properly. So this is basically what I mean by manually sanding it with the little pad sander. I'm just going to get underneath and try and create the smooth line. So it's a bit more time consuming and tedious, but it's more accurate than using that other sander. So this is how I'm going to have to do it. Okay, so basically what I've done, I've got the rough shape of what I want. I've still got to go underneath and make it a bit flatter, but now I'm done with this little pad sander, I've got to go and get the long block as well, which will give me a nice, longer, straighter edge. The longer you can get the block, the more straight you're going to get it. These are great for basically doing smaller areas like up here, whereas underneath there, the long block's going to be absolutely perfect because I can just move it literally 3 inches either way, and I know this part here is going to be dead flat and the bumper's going to line up bang onto that. And it's starting to look pretty good already. I've only been on this now probably about half an hour and already it's taking shape. So I'm going to grab the long block now and make it even better. Alright, I think that's pretty much how I want it. I'm going to quickly grab the bumper and test fit it and see how well it lines up against the bumper. And I've still got to go over it again with a little bit of filler here. It's chipped and yeah, it's definitely not going to be done in one piece. But I'm going to grab the bumper now anyway and we're going to see how this lines up, and it's going to give me a really good idea of how it's going to sit. Also, I've got to keep this as original as possible, so I'm going to have to try and mirror this to the opposite side. Hopefully this goes on perfectly and there's no hiccups. Okay, how flush does that look? I can't see from this angle. I gotta say, it's not looking too bad, is it? But this bit here still needs to be sanded down because there is a lot of filler on that. That's all got to be sanded down, and then it will come very flush with this point. So I've just got to shape all of that. But yeah, very happy with this, and I'm going to carry on trying to sculpt the rest of it now. Okay, so just from doing that little bit of sanding, if I push this bumper forward a little bit more, you can see that lines up a hell of a lot better. And I'm going to see how that looks in comparison to the other side as well. See how close I've got it. And I'll try and get this in there. So that looks a little bit tighter than how I've got it on the other side. So I'm going to try and get it even tighter on the other side to try and get that perfect lip. Not majorly far off, in all fairness, probably like 5mm. So I'm going to try and get that as close as I can. Really, I shouldn't be this fussy because we've only got 9 days to do it, and it is a shit box. But at the same time, I have to do it right. It's got to be perfect. In this video, I want to try and talk to you about the different types of sanding and filling that I'm going to do. So you've just saw me use the electric sander, then the pad sander, and then the long block as well. So each of them sanders serve a very good purpose when it comes to bodywork. The long block is for things sort of like the side skirt, where it needs to be long and flat and there's no deviations. It has to be nice and level. Whereas the smaller pad, that bugger, is for more like the smaller stuff. I know I've already explained this, but I just want to go through it properly. And the DA, I just use that for like ripping stuff apart. And if it's a nice flat surface, I'll be using the DA to go over it with a much finer sandpaper as well. But yeah, mainly for this episode, I will probably be using the long block more than anything, mainly because of that sill. And I'm not going to bore you much longer, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to use the short block for now. So the short block's basically going to be to replicate the opposite side to this, because as you can see, this bows out here and then comes back in, and that's exactly the same as the other side here. But to keep the bodywork like that, I'm going to have to use the little sander. Ta-da! I'm going to have to use that and then just diagonally work the sander like that going down so it follows the contour of the bodywork. Whereas if I was to go straight across with it like this, it's going to cause a massive flat spot, and we don't want that because we need that curve in it to match the other side. So I'm going to show you guys now how I'm going to do this, and you can probably apply it to your own car if you was to do your own bodywork, but I'm just doing it on this shit box for now. Okay, so I'm pretty much finished with this bit for now, just because I'm getting a bit annoyed with it, in all fairness. I need to change it up a bit. And you can see here that I've put a light mist of paint on it. The reason why I've done that is because when I sand it down, I can now see if there's any high or low spots in the paint, because if there's any paint left behind, it means there's a low spot. So I've then got to go back over it and fill it again. But for now, I'm just going to wait for that to dry off, and we're going to move on to the next thing I'm going to show you, which is also to do with the bodywork. This car came with a lip kit. I'm not sure what the lip kit is. It's like a sort of like a body kit extension sort of thing. I don't really know what brand it is. I know it's fiberglass, and it's definitely been in a bump before. So I'm going to show you the damage right now. Someone has tried bodging it. There was a piece of fiberglass. It's not even fiberglass, look at that. They've only fiberglassed the edges and not the actual bit that needs fiberglassing. That's still squishy, that is. Idiots. So I'm having to repair this. I love how they just slapped a bit of filler on there and thought, yep, that'll do, no one's going to notice. So I've got to repair that. There's a big bulge here where obviously they've tried repairing it and failed badly. Another big crack. What else we got? It's just littered with stuff. So this job for the bodywork should take probably 3 days, and now it's probably going to take a week, and we've not got long to do it. We're now on like less than 9 days, like I said. So I'm really going to struggle. I'm going to put in some long hours on this, but we're going to try and get this done. The front bumper's not much better either. So to repair this, I'm basically going to have to fiberglass it all again. You can see that what's happened here, they've had a crash and it's just smashed straight down the middle. They've tried the best to fix it, and that's not really anyone's best in all fairness. Look at the state of it. But I'm going to rectify this with whatever time I have spare. I can't say that it's going to be perfect because I am on a deadline and this has to get done. Remember, we still got all of the other parts of the car to put back together. There's still a few little mechanical bits to do to the car. So if you're probably thinking mechanical bits, haven't you done the mechanical bits already? No, I haven't at this moment in time, but you've seen the video of me doing the mechanical bits. So I basically, everything's scattered around. So you've got parts of different videos in different videos, but this is the bodywork one. So I'm gonna just try and fix this to the best I possibly can. I just done something by accident then, but I may have improved it at the same time. Yes, I made the crack bigger. So, well, that just happened. Oh, well, at least now I can show you how to fiberglass this properly. I didn't want this to be a how-to video on how to do stuff, but it now is. First things first, I'm going to clean all of this off. All of the crap behind here I'm going to clean off, because what it looks like's happened. They've crashed this car and they haven't cleaned it properly, and the fiberglass hasn't stuck to that because I literally just peeled that a little bit and the whole thing come off. So I'm going to clean it all down and repair it properly. That's just falling off. Okay, so this is basically how I'm going to repair it. I'm going to take a wire wheel and get rid of all of the crap along these edges so the new fiberglass has something to stick to. Same with the other side here. And also, because I'm so far behind on this car, I've had to call in a favour. So my friend Nathan is coming shortly. You guys will love him, he's great, he's hilarious. So he's coming shortly and he's going to try and help with doing some of the mechanical stuff just to make more of a dent in it. So that's going to be a great help, and hopefully we stand a chance of getting this car done. I'm absolutely panicking at the moment because we're on a club stand and I don't think it's going to get done, but I have no choice. I'll do 14-hour days if I have to. Let's do this. So I spoke to Lee Mays, who deals with the SMXs, who's got an abundance of parts, and he basically said that getting a new lip for the rear bumper is going to be impossible at this time. So yeah, I don't think we have a choice but to repair it. I was hoping that we could just buy another one to save a lot of time, but no, we have no choice but to repair it, so we have to do the fiberglassing. For those of you that don't know how to fiberglass, I'm going to show you how to do it. So basically, get the resin, put it in there, very good, very nice. I'm going to put quite a lot in there because I don't want to run short and have to mix more up. So I'm going to put that there, put the lid on. And catalyst, so that is the catalyst that you're going to need to activate the resin to make it work properly. So there's one cap full. I'm going to use quite a lot because it's quite cold in here still. And it's going to take a while for it to go off, so I'm going to use quite a lot of the hardener to try and make it go off a little bit quicker because of the temperature. So with the paintbrush, I'm just going to mix it up and make sure it's thoroughly done, because you don't want any parts of this that aren't mixed up because it ain't going to go off. And once it does go off, I'm going to apply it to the bumper itself. And I think that the last people that tried fiberglassing this didn't do that. I think that they put the fiberglass on first and then they put the resin over the fiberglass, whereas you should never do that really, because that's why it was so easy for it to break off. So if you want a strong bond with fiberglass, you need to put the resin on the part that you're going to be repairing first before you do fiberglass it, just so it can absorb into it. And I'll show you guys right now exactly what I mean, because I've just finished mixing this. Basically just do that, put the resin on all of the parts where the fiberglass is gonna go. So you want this to basically be soaked in. So in an ideal world, you want all of this completely soaked first before you put the fiberglass on. And that's on both pieces, not just this side. I need it on the other little broken piece, wherever it is. There it is. 2 seconds. Ta-da. So yep, same goes for this as well. I'm basically just going to resin that. The tricky part with doing this fiberglassing is trying to get it lined up perfect, because I think that's the problem they had. They never lined it up right, and that's why it created a weird bump. Oh, why is the fiberglass so far away? Come here. So yep, we'll just go over the top of the fiberglass now with the resin. Make sure it's fully soaked. There's no real rule to how much to put on, because the fiberglass will only absorb, that was a pen. The fiberglass will only absorb what it needs to. It can't keep absorbing. So whatever resin is left over, if it looks a little wet, I'm obviously gonna put more layers on anyway, because I need this to be reinforced properly. And I'm probably gonna end up doing 4 layers, maybe 5 layers, because I want this absolutely solid and to never come off again. So Nathan's just turned up. Arrived in style, mate.
Hello. Oh god.
How you doing?
I am good. It works, kind of. It only slightly overheats now. In fact, if I have to double check, because I usually do. Usually that's where the coolant decides to just go and empty out the bottom of the car, but otherwise it works, apart from the suspension and a few other things.
I'm just showing them your car.
Oh, this is the worst possible financial investment you could possibly make, and possibly the cheapest Cayenne Turbo S in the country right now. Not for good reasons.
So I got a little bit distracted when Nathan turned up, but that was your introduction to Nathan. And in the meantime, I've also finished fiberglassing this. So this is going to stay here right now, and I'm going to come back to this once it's dried off a little bit. So for now, Nathan's doing the mechanical stuff because he's a legend.
This is not good for my lungs.
So while Nathan cracks on with that, I'm going to tackle the bonnet. As you can see, I've sanded it down already, and then I found out that there was not enough filler on it in the first place. So I need to fill up to these lines here, these little dots, and that will get rid of these high spots that are here. I've tapped these down because this one here was caused by another dent. And now I've basically just got to do a very light skim over this and wait for that to dry off, and then that should be sound to sand then. So there's my filler. Let's get started. So while we're waiting for the filler to dry on the bonnet, I'm going to show you how the bumper's turned out, because all the fiberglass has dried off right now. So this is how it currently looks. It's looking pretty good, to be fair. This bit here needs sanding down, but the crack itself is good. I can now fiberglass filler over the top of this, and that should be absolutely perfect. I mean, oh, a bit brutal. The shapes turned out really well. I'm gonna have to give this a skim of filler afterwards, and it should be sound. Hopefully we should have no more issues and we can get this done. So I've come round to this side of the bumper and discovered that it's damaged here and here as well. So with this, I'm literally going to grind it back with a wire wheel and use fiberglass filler, because it's not split in half, it's just damaged here. So while I've been doing all of the body work, Nathan has completely smashed it out. He's put everything all back together. What? He's put everything back together, and he's even done the downpipe, but he has set the downpipe off again because it didn't come with a gasket for it. So we're going to have to get another gasket and then get it sorted. Gonna have a tidy up in here in a bit, but first I've took this bumper outside so I can start doing the filling on this. Luckily enough, this isn't damaged really, it's just got a few little scuffs at the bottom of the bumper, and the rest of it's pretty mint. And the fiberglass one is over here still. So the fiberglass is just going off. I'm using the resin as a gauge. As you can see, it's still a bit stodgy. So once that goes off, I can then use the fiberglass filler to go around the outside of it and repair these patches and this one here, and then we're good to go, and then we can just carry on with the bodywork and get this thing finished. So far, with Nathan and Jack's help, because Jack is here now.
Don't mind us. Just
No, Jack's here. He's got the job of taking this area out. I don't know what he's doing down there, but he's taking that out, and that's so we can wrap it. But what was I gonna say?
You saw bottom and you just forgot everything in your brain.
Yeah, Jack is carrying on with that, and Nathan's giving him a hand now. And without their help, I'd be pretty buggered really, because there's no way I'll be getting all this done by myself. While they're tackling that, I'm going to carry on with the bumper and carry on with the rest of the bodywork, and we stand a good chance now of actually getting this car finished. Okay, so all of this bumper now is sanded and it's smoothed, and I'm ready to go over the top of it with a little light skim of Dolphin Glaze. If you don't know what Dolphin Glaze is, it's like a finishing filler. So I've got to go over the top of that just to get rid of some of these little holes that are left in it. And we're ready to go then. So I'll give it a clean down, but I just wanted to show you guys what they've got up to in there. So they had the job of taking the aerial out. It's not a big job really, but that's what they've done.
The speakers.
Jack, do you want to explain to people what's going on?
There's Nathan.
Oh, I didn't even see him there.
Hello. Right, so we're underneath the dashboard, and this is the end of the antenna cable, which is a problem because the other end of it's over there up the top. And this end needs to be up there too. So what we're doing is we're trying to get that out, but then logic would be when we put it back in, we've got to put it back there. So this is putting our two brains together to figure that out. But this is where we are so far. Comprende?
Comprende, yes. So it started raining outside now, so I've come inside to tackle the bonnet. And you can see that I've sprayed a light mist of paint over that, and that's again to get the high and the low spots to find out where they are. So I'm just going to start sanding now and see where the low spots and the high spots are, and then we can tackle it, and then that's done, and then I've only got to tackle that side of the car then, and we're pretty much good to go on the bodywork side of it, and then we're good to start wrapping.
How full you are? Get away!
What? oh, the aerial. God, that's big, look at that. He's got the aerial out. And we never had to cut any wires. Jack, no, you got this far, don't break it now.
So we've got a problem. This is where it comes out. Oh, why'd you have to be like that? Just pull it hard.
Good.
Pull it harder. Dan do good. Okay, there you go. Your aerial's out now. So if you wanted to, keep it for the, sentimental value, it's there and you can use it. But now you can wrap your car safe in the knowledge that you have a factory original Honda SMX aerial in the working condition there.
So now they've got the aerial out of that, I'm going to carry on with this and determine where the high and the low spots are. So I've just finished Dolphin glazing this. As you can see, it's all gone off now. I'm going to start sanding it down. A little bit there that I rubbed a bit too early and it crumpled, but we'll ignore that. So we'll go over to this side. All of the little scratches and crevices where this bumper has touched curbs and stuff in the past, they've all been covered up. You can just make out some lines underneath the filler there. So all of this is being sanded back now until there is no more filler and it's all smooth, and then this bumper is finished, and then we can start work on the damaged bumper that's split in half. So yeah, do you know what, I actually stand a chance of getting this car done today bodywork wise. We've ordered a gasket as well for the downpipe, so we can get that done today as well, but we won't show you because this is the bodywork episode. So I'm going to carry on with this. We're going to sand all this off and make a start on the rest of it as well. So all of that is sanded now. As you can see, all of them scratches that are pretty deep, they've all been filled in and they look quite nice now. It's all smooth, and that's all over the bumper as well. So this bumper is prepped. All it needs now is cleaning, and then it can be wrapped. And I'm now going to start on the rear bumper, which is in here. And I know I still haven't had a tidy up before anyone says anything. I've got to do this now though. So that repair that I've done on this side has fully repaired and gone off, I think. So yeah, we've got to cut this now so it's the same shape as the bumper itself, and I'm going to repair the outer of this side as well. So we brought the rear lip extension thing outside, and as you can see, all of these are quite badly damaged. The repair on this has turned out really well. I'm quite happy with it, but it's just slightly kicking out here, so this part of the bumper is doing this a little bit from there, it's pivoting down. So I've just got the clamp there in place, and I'm going to reinforce it with some fiberglass filler behind there and here as well, and that should correct it. So that's the fiberglass filler, it's all ready to be mixed, and I'm just going to show you guys me slapping it on. Don't want to bore you with mixing it up, just going to show you the repair job. So I'm going to make a start on this now for you. So with the fiberglass filler, you literally just pop it in place like that. That'll reinforce all of the fiberglass and the breakages. So you're basically just putting new fiberglass over the top of it. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma find my way through the blood and pain. So all this fiberglass filler is now dried off. It's completely solid, and the next process is to sand this down, and it's looking pretty good so far. I mean, it's quite level. It's not going to be 100% because it is a repair job, but that's what the fillering is for. So I'm going to sand the fiberglass filler down, and then start then start fillering over the top of this to get the whole thing smoothed out. As you can see, someone's tried doing this in the past. Like all of this is filler by the looks of it, because you can see all of the little scratch marks, and that's where they've used 2 course of sandpaper. So I'm not going to make that mistake like them, because it's a bit silly. Now I've sanded all of this, I'm just going to give it a skimmer filler here. Alright then, all of this is now filled, and it's looking pretty good in comparison to what it did look like. So all of that is now done on this side and on this side. So I'm gonna have to go over it now with some dolphin glaze. Ta-da! And fill in all of these little pinprick holes just like I did on the other one. See all them nasty little things. I've got to fill those in with the dolphin glaze, and then this stupid thing is good to go. And I've got to just do this one as well. This is the other part of the rear bumper, and there's a couple of little scuffs here and up here, so I can pretty much just get away with that. So I'm going to sand that back down and then just do a light skim of dolphin glaze, and that's good to go. So the bumper's now ready to be primed. Everything's done on it. I'm just going to give it a nice light coat of primer on this patch and on the patches around there that I've sanded. So yeah, we're going to get stuck straight into this, and I've already given it a clean, and this has been well shaken, so let's get stuck into it.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games.
Now that don't look too bad for a rush job that's took a few hours to do. So obviously you remember the big giant crack that was in there, and yeah, you know that, and that's it now. It's not looking bad at all really, but it's not my finest work by a long shot, but we're on a deadline with this thing, so it's more than presentable, way more than presentable. But I could do better, but I don't have the time. I've still got to go around the other side of the car as well and weld 4 little patches about this big on the underside of the sill, because they've just rotted out. So I've got to sort that, which is another headache. But yeah, it's Saturday today. Sunday is my deadline to get the bodywork done. So yeah, and then it's Jap Fest the next Sunday. So you can see my pain and why I'm just trying to get this rushed as quick as possible. But yeah, this is this side as well. There was a few chunks missing out of it, like here, there was a big chunk here and there and here as well. Oh, I've just touched it, bloody hell. But yeah, it's not looking bad at all. Pretty happy with it. And I can now go home because that was my thing to do for today. So see you tomorrow. Okay guys, it is now 6 days until Jap Fest. I've completely done this side of the sill as well, because there was 5 little rust patches about this big that were at the bottom of the sill, but I've sorted those. And also I come round to this side and made a start in nearly finishing this. So you can see here that I've stone guarded the inside of there. All of that's been sealed as well inside, so that's future proofed. Also, I've started doing all of this, and as you can see, I've sprayed a little bit of paint on there, and again that was just to see where the high and the low spots are, and then I've gone over it and filled them as well. You can see these little patches here and here, and that's very straight at the moment, and I'm just working my way along the sill now. So we're almost at the end of this episode. We've made a really good dent in it right now, and there's only 6 days left till Jack Fest, like I said. So today is Sunday, and today's my deadline to get the bodywork done. I have no choice but to get it done today. Yeah, it's been an absolute stress, but I've primered the bumper as well. All of that's done. Remember that nasty gouge? This is it now. There's a dead fly on there. But yep, that's it now. It's looking pretty damn good if I do say so myself. Literally got to finish that bit there, and then just do a little bit of tidying up. I just have to trim the bottom of this as well, as it sits a bit too low. But yeah, we're almost done. As you can see, that sill's looking pretty good now. There's just this patch here that needs addressing, but I think I can get that with the dolphin glaze. So this whole thing now is pretty much ready to be dolphin glazed. So 2 things I've got to apologise for. Number 1, me looking so homeless, and number 2, I dolphin glazed the car without you guys looking. So yeah, I am sorry about that, but I just got stuck into it massively. Jack is here. He's just not interested in doing bodywork. He absolutely hates it. So if you're wondering why you haven't really saw much of Jack this episode, it's because he don't like doing this stuff, and I drew the short straw doing this. So the dolphin glaze has gone off now. It's ready to be sanded and prepped, ready for primer. And you probably also see something else that's gone on. I'm looking a little bit more homeless than I did 10 seconds ago. So yeah, it's been done over a few days, this bodywork crap. So finally at a time now, I can put some more time into this and get it finished and primed. So that's what I'm going to do, and we're going to get this thing finished. That's one side down. Now let's go on to the next. Oh yeah, by the way, these are the wheels. Look how fresh they are. I've literally just got them back today from powder coating. And if you didn't know, today is Wednesday and we've only got till Sunday. Oh, Jack Fest is on Sunday, so we're cutting it really close. Look at the state of the car. It's currently got no door cards. Dash is ripped apart. That's the rest of the car in here. Yeah, we've got like 2 days really to get this done. All right, now all of that is prepped. We are now in the final stage. So what I've got here is stone guard, and that's basically to stop stone chips flicking up and damaging the metalwork that's underneath. So what I'm going to be doing with this, I'm going to be going along the bottom edge of this sill, just along that little lip there, and that's basically just to protect it. So once that's dry, I can then start priming the sill, and we can just go from there really. But for now, I'm just going to spray this along the bottom. Show exactly what I do. It doesn't matter if I go onto this a little bit, that doesn't matter at all.
Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's thing.
No, that's all stone guarded. I'm gonna go around the other side. I did actually stone guard this side before, but I had to go over it with dolphin glaze again, so now I'm doing it again. So again, just in there. Again, I'm going to use a little bit of stone guard in there just to protect it from the elements, because primer is quite porous, so water can get into it, and I'm just going to use this underneath so it can never really rust again. Beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful. Okay. Now just got to do the underside. Okay guys, this is it now. It's the final stretch. So I'm just going to do a light mist Doesn't matter if I get a little bit of overspray on the top because it's all being wrapped. I just want to make sure I'm priming the filler mainly because I need the wrap to stick to it, and you got a problem when it sticks to filler because when you pull the wrap off eventually, say probably like 3-4 years time, when you want to change the colour, it can pull the filler off as well. So you want to make sure that you prime it properly so that it doesn't stick to the filler too harshly because it grips really well and you don't want it to pull it off. So I'm just going to give it a mist over now. I'm probably just going to do the whole skirt. See for yourselves. Oh yeah, I've taped all the bottom up as well because that's where I've just used the... Sorry, I can't multitask because that's where I've just used the stone guard. So yeah, I've taped that bottom bit up so it still looks fresh when I take the tape off. And I'm just using this piece of cardboard now so I don't get any overspray onto the door. I am so happy to say this because it's finally done. Look at that. So I've still got to go over it and give it a light sand with 800 grit sandpaper, but you don't need to see that. It's boring enough just watching me go back over it again and again and again. But as you can see, it's all done now. I'm so happy that it's done because we've only got 3 days left. Well, 2 days. But yeah, pretty proud of myself. That's a fully custom built sill with nothing but a hammer and an Amazon sheet metal bender. So it can be done with the pure basic tools and pure strength, of course. But yeah, really happy with it. That's both sides as well, that little patch I've done. And this side's done as well. So really happy with the outcome. Thanks for sitting through this one. I know it's been a long episode of just watching me go backwards and forwards with sandpaper and stuff. But yeah, it's done though, it is done. And really appreciate you watching, both me, Jack, and everyone else involved with this build. Really does appreciate you watching this channel, and hopefully the channel's going to grow and we can end up getting more shit boxes in like this. I really would love it, but again, we'll just have to see how things go. And thank you so much again for watching. We really appreciate it, and don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next one.